our project, we'll be demonstrating how a GPS unit can be used to aid in data collection. As our data collection device, we'll be using the Vernier LabQuest. For our GPS coordinate collection, we'll be using the Etrex Venture CX. We chose the LabQuest data collection device because it is one of the few that is compatible with our GPS units. We also like the fact that it will allow us to use more than one sensor and at the same time collect our GPS coordinates as we move along. For our particular project, we will also be creating events using the LabQuest. An event stores each set of data that we collect in a separate file. This becomes very handy so that we can keep track of where we were and what data was collected at each spot. Using the LabQuest and the GPS unit, Nick will now show you how an event can be used to store separate sets of data.
Okay, we named event number 1. It has a pH of 6.39. It has a latitude of 34.13535 degrees and a longitude of minus 94.68079 and an altitude of 133 meters.
For our project, we've decided to head up the trout stream located at Beaver's Bend. We knew there had been a lot of rain in the area and we were wanting to determine if the rain had had any effect on the pH levels of the water in the river. So we took our LabQuest, our GPS unit, and a pH probe and headed up the river, stopping at several different locations. At each location, we gathered our data in an event using the LabQuest and took a picture of the area. Our plan was that after all our data had been collected, we would take it back to our room and analyze it, and using the GPS coordinates, loading it onto Google Earth and Google Maps, and trying to determine if there was any kind of pattern that we could see that affected the pH levels of the water in the river. Here, Nick is connecting his GPS unit to the LabQuest using a USB cord. As you can see, our LabQuest shows our pH readings and our longitude and latitude coordinates. We traveled up the river and stopped at 13 different locations. Following are pictures of each location we stopped at and the data that was collected. Using Google Earth, we plotted each location and its data to determine if there were any patterns in the pH levels of the river. We noticed that as we traveled further upstream, the pH readings would get lower and lower. We concluded that runoff caused by recent flooding was slightly acidic, which would explain the lower pH levels in the stream. For an interactive file of all our information and data, you may visit the following website.